Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I missed you guys. This holiday weekend has been great, but now I'm back and I'm here to address the coonery, the buffoonery, and the foolery on these YouTube streets. So, a recent comment I got from a person who ended up getting blocked was saying that I am a female supremacist. I also have men coming on this channel saying that, like, oh, you're anti relationship or you're just anti male. Okay, so let me break things down. First of all, this is a very girly, very like female centered channel. So, not sure why guys would want to even be on this channel. So, those peeping toms, or like, that meme with the creepy guy behind the tree where he's just trying to lurk where all the women are? I feel like that's what the guys are for the most part that come on this channel and leave those comments. They're just the creepy guys that are like mad that a woman is not volunteering her time to be with him. And so he has to try to go where all the women are. But for the people who think that I'm some sort of female supremacist or that I think that women are better, well, it depends on your definition of better, because there are multiple articles that talk about how women have now surpassed men in education. There are lots of articles talking about how little girls in school are surpassing men in school. So if that's what you mean when I say think we're better, well, I mean, there are certain things that women are apparently better at, according to all of these articles online. You guys also heard me talk about Dr. Daniel Amen's work. Dr. Daniel Amen is a male, and he has scanned tens of thousands of brains, and he talks about how the part of the woman's brain, the part of our brains that is associated with like processing emotions, is more highly developed. Like it has more activity in it than how men's brains are in that area. And we all know this to be true. A lot of times when a woman gets into a relationship with a guy, she is required to, like process his emotions for him and be his therapist and be his sex worker. She is required to help him maintain his relationships with his own family members. A lot of women are the ones who are creating calendars for their husband, managing their husband's health. And this, by the way, this video is going to be all over the place because I just feel like I have so much to catch up on with you guys. But a lot of times when women get into relationships, that is the role that they're playing. And because women tend to process their emotions better than men do, women are actually better at analyzing the emotional state of themselves or of the man that they're with or of the relationship that they are a part of. And so this is why you hear a lot of people say that women put in the majority of the emotional labor. It's because it's true. Most women are the ones who are like going out of their way to purchase all of these how to have a good marriage books from Barnes and Noble. We're spending money on stuff like that. We're spending money on like media pieces and courses and stuff on like how to date properly, how to get a guy to fall in love with you, how to get a man to see you and like think that you're special. And I know that guys do those things too, but it's not as prevalent with men as it is with women. Women will like sit around for hours and watch entire sermons. Like I'm thinking about the church women, they'll sit around and watch sermons that are like 3 hours long about how to be a good wife, how to have a good marriage. Women will watch these dating and femininity YouTubers who talk all about like divesting or how to date XYZ type of guy or how to dress so you can get this guy. So a lot of women, they spend a lot of time, energy, and effort into trying to maintain a good relationship. A lot of women who are married, they will be spending their time and effort like trying to keep their bodies in shape for their husbands, trying to look good for their husbands or whatever. But on average, men don't tend to do the same thing. Usually men, once they get married, they're like, okay, cool. I accomplished it. I checked off the box. Great. Now it's time to go play video games and jack off to porn and I get a discount on bills. Like I've got it made. And I've got a woman who's going to be my nutritionist for the rest of my life. Oh, I'm good. That's the attitude that a lot of men seem to have. So if I come off as some sort of female supremacist or if I come off like I'm being biased, well, it's because number one, this is a girly female-centered channel. Like I didn't even think any guys would watch this channel. And number two, I'm trying to empower women who may have felt like they were crazy or women who may have felt invalidated by the people around them, including their own male family members, like including their own fathers or brothers. I'm trying to help women like that to understand that they're not crazy. Also, anything I say on this YouTube channel, it's not set in stone. Like I can change my views. I'm going to grow and develop. I'm not going to be perfect on this channel. I'm not going to say everything perfectly. Every video is not going to be perfectly curated and edited. But one thing I can say is that we are not crazy. And a lot of men have felt very entitled to women, but I've noticed that since women are becoming generally more educated and generally more financially stable, then, the need for men has lessened. And I'm not trying to say it like, oh, women don't need men at all. But it's just that when women come to a man nowadays, it's for something very specific. Like, okay, I would like a man to help pay my bills, or I would like a man to sleep with and then I'm done with him, or I would like a man to, I want to like have a baby or whatever, or I want to get married, or, a lot of women they're not coming into relationships ambiguous anymore like how we used to. We're not as codependent on men as we used to be because a lot of us have our own ways of like getting money or getting attention and validation. By the way, I've noticed that there's this narrative that, like, if you want validation, that's bad. That makes you a bad person. That's false. Validation is a totally normal human desire. It's normal to give and receive validation. Anytime that you take your child to, a recital or something, and then you tell them, oh, good job, Johnny, you played the piano, that was great. You are giving that child validation. That child is receiving validation from you, and that makes the child feel good. So there's nothing wrong with wanting validation. And I believe that relationships should be validating. So for the people who are like, oh, well, you're only dating for validation then. Well, what are you supposed to do? Date and not feel seen and not feel heard? Are you supposed to feel lonely in your relationship for the rest of your life? Are you supposed to spend your life with a man who invalidates you for the next 80 years? See, that's the type of misogyny that I'm speaking against on this channel. Because those narratives are finally dying out because us women are waking up and saying, hey, wait a minute, I'm not even getting the validation I receive in the real world as a pretty woman. I'm not even getting the same level of validation from someone who claims to love me. Literal strangers on the street treat me better than my own boyfriend or my own husband. And this is why we see women ghosting men more frequently than before, because a lot of women are like, wait a minute, if I walk down the street or if I simply go on a dating app or if I post a picture on Instagram and there are all kinds of guys in my DMs telling me how beautiful I am, wanting my number, wanting to take me out, sending me money on Cash App or whatever, or let's say you're a sex worker, you've got sugar daddies or whatever. And then the man who claims that he loves you he doesn't want to pay for anything for you. In fact, he wants you to give him a discount on his bills. He doesn't pay attention to you, doesn't validate you, doesn't tell you how much he loves you or how beautiful you are, doesn't notice any of your positive qualities or appreciate those things about you. Well, yeah, that is very invalidating. And nobody should stay in a relationship like that. Invalidating someone, that's actually a form of neglect. If you were to raise your children and you never compliment your children, you never say anything positive about them, you never notice when they get good grades, you never notice, oh, hey, look, my 2-year-old is walking now. Oh, look, she can run now. If you never even notice or say anything about them positive, then that is actually a form of neglect. So why would women choose to be in relationships that are emotionally neglectful? So I think that that's just the way that the trends are changing now, because like I said, ever since us millennials and Gen Z have been able to wake up when it comes to what narcissism is, what mental health issues are very common in our society today, it has caused us to notice, oh, wait a minute, a lot of these guys actually aren't shit. And it's funny because I'll see on Reddit, guys will be like, oh, I'm 6 feet tall and I make a lot of money and, I'm not bald, so why can't I have a girlfriend? And it's like, see, that's the difference between women and men. A lot of men think all you need is to be tall and like, have a big D and maybe have some money and that's it. No, you may attract a woman who only wants those 3 things, sure. But as far as the women who want like loyalty and a guy who also has good character and stuff like that, you're not going to attract that. But here on this channel, I do support decentering men as a whole. I will say though, I think there are different ways you can decenter men. I think you can decenter men and still date. All that means, for example, that's what I'm doing. All that means is that if you and him were to break up, you can easily and quickly move on. It means that like you're not scared. You're no longer afraid of losing him, because you're not codependent on him. You're not centering your whole life around him. So let's say you have a boyfriend or something and he's like, oh, hey, I want to move to Alaska and get this new job. You as a decentered woman, you could be like, okay, well then I guess this is the end of our relationship because I don't want to move to Alaska. That's not a part of what I want. But I feel like before, a lot of women were like picking up their entire lives, packing away everything, and just following these men wherever they wanted to go. And a lot of women were being led into a ditch and led into these extremely dusty situations. And so the whole point of me talking about decentering men on this channel is just to help women to get out of dusty situations. Anyone who gets mad at that is the type of man who is a manipulator and wants to try to extract a woman's labor somehow. Because I do feel like a lot of men, when they describe what they want, oftentimes they're really just describing labor that they want from the woman, such as they want sexual labor from her, they want emotional labor, they want, they want all these things. And that would be fine if the man were giving those things in return. But on average, the man is not giving those things on return. On average, most men are addicted to pornography. So that means that they are using one woman to meet their emotional and domestic needs while simultaneously using many other women to meet their sexual needs and to meet their fantasy needs or whatever. So it's like, okay, if the woman is giving you all of this labor, why would she give you all of that labor so that you could then, kind of be an energy vampire towards her and then give all of that energy and give all of that sexual market value to the women who are not even in a relationship with him? This is why a lot of women are opting out completely and saying, okay, well then I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to commit. I will be the one living the hot girl summer. I will be the one posting on Instagram because you're going to look at it anyway. You're going to look at my Instagram, you're going to like my pics, or you're going to scroll. Did you know that on Instagram, when you're scrolling past a picture, you don't even have to like the picture. Simply pausing and looking at the picture for a few seconds, that actually makes that Instagram account go up higher in the algorithm. So that means that whoever that content creator is, she has a higher opportunity for brand deals, a higher opportunity to expand her audience, a higher opportunity to gain more followers and to be seen by more people. So all of these men who get mad, I just feel like men get mad at us women because they created the system that we are in today. They created the demand for a woman's body or for a woman's beauty or for a woman's attention or whatever. And a lot of guys are so sexually undisciplined to the point where they will still get turned on even if you have a filter, even if you have a fake butt, even if you have, you could have all of these things that are like completely fake. So they'll talk all this ish about, oh, well, her eyelashes are fake. Oh, this and that is fake. And it's like, but you're still jacking off to it. So what are you talking about? Like, she's still getting paid off of her fake butt or off of her fake lashes. But anyway, if this channel sounds like it's a female supremacist channel, well, this is supposed to be an empowerment channel for women. So that's who I focus on. That is my core audience. And my audience is MLS women. So this is not going to be a male-centered channel. When I first started off on YouTube and I knew nothing about red pill or manosphere or, women's issues versus men's issues, I didn't know anything about all these different niches and stuff. So when I first started, I was more open. But now that this community is growing and now that we have our own core audience of Exoticals, we're not changing anything. Like, this will always be a safe space for us to talk. By the way, please make sure you follow my other YouTube channel, which is Exoticals Unfiltered. That's my backup channel just in case anything ever happens to this one. And while you're at it, you may want to get the Patreon as well. I also have a dark femininity course. I will have all of those things linked in the description. But this is a growing and thriving community. We're not going anywhere. The Exoticals have united. And I've got plenty more episodes to come that are going to be just like this one. I'm super excited for December to come up because I'm going to be able to bulk create even more content, especially like if it gets super snowy and things get shut down and, everybody's kind of cooped up in the house anyway. I'm going to have plenty more time to create content for you guys. And so I'm really excited. And by the way, if you guys have any videos that you would like me to do or things you want me to speak on, I do listen to what you guys say in the comment section. In fact, you guys have done a fantastic job of bringing up different celebrities or different stories. You guys are the ones who told me about the Cassie and Diddy story. You guys are the ones who have brought up all of these incredible topics for us to talk about. The point of the Exoticals United community is this is supposed to be a think tank for us. This isn't supposed to be something where it's like we're bullying each other or where we're like trying to be pick-me's for guys or whatever. This is really supposed to be a place where we can kind of talk about our experiences and then be like, oh, wait, oh my gosh, my experience matches your experience. Oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. So I've got plenty more content coming up. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.